5, 4, 3, 2, action.
Donnie was a good bowler and a good man. He was one of us. He was a man who loved the outdoors and bowling, and as a surfer, he explored the beaches of Southern California from La Jolla to Leo Carrillo and up to Pismo. He died. He died as so many young men of his generation before his time. And in your wisdom, Lord, you took him. Just as you took so many bright, flowering young men at Quezon and Landoc and Hill 364. These young men gave their lives, and so did Donnie. Donnie who loved bowling. And so Theodore Donald Garabotsos, in accordance with what we think your dying wishes might well have been, we commit your final mortal remains to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean, which you love so well. Good night, sweet prince.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, action.
They hurt surfing because they give nothing back. And they have no respect for the sea. They just want to get radical. It's mindless aggression. They'll never get it. The spiritual side of it. So I was up at the beach. I saw it going down. Now, you didn't hesitate. They never backed you up an inch. It's pretty rare in this world. Yeah, it's not tragic to die doing what you love. You want the ultimate thrill? You got to be willing to pay the ultimate price. Football is a man-made game. You keep the score with numbers, but in this, there's no field, no rules, and no opponent. Just you and that wave. I've watched you once or twice. You surf like it's some kind of street fight. You jerk along from moment to moment, fighting everything that comes at you, always trying to win. The only way you're going to win out here is to surrender. You have to feel what the wave is doing, accept its energy, get in sync. Just feel it all moving in the blackness. You don't need to actually see.
I don't want to try to be loved anymore. And I don't want to be scared anymore or to kill anymore. I don't want to kill anymore. I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't want to be anything anymore. I don't need a reason to kill myself. I need a reason not to, and there isn't one. Did you know that identical twins are never really identical? There's always one that's prettier, and the one who's not does all the work. She used me, and she left me, just like you.
Oh, I don't know. Is that we collectively thought Steve Jobs was a great man, when we knew he made billions off the backs of children. Or maybe it feels like all our heroes are counterfeits. The world itself, just one big hoax. Spamming each other with our running commentary of bullshit masquerading as insight. Our social media faking as intimacy. Or is it that we voted for this? Not with our rigged elections, but with our things, our property, our money. But I'm not saying anything new. We all know why we do this. Not because of earrings or the Hunger Game books, because it makes us happier. because we want to be sedated, because it's painful not to pretend, because we're fucking cowards. Fuck society.
The question is, do I have a God complex? Which makes me wonder if this lawyer has any idea as to the kind of grades one has to receive in college to be accepted at a top medical school. Or if you have the vaguest clue as to how talented somebody has to be to lead a surgical team. I have an MD from Harvard. I'm board certified in cardiothoracic medicine and trauma surgery. I've been awarded citations from 7 different medical boards in New England alone. And I am never, ever sick at sea. So I ask you, when someone goes into that chapel and they fall on their knees and they pray to God that their wife doesn't miscarry, or that their daughter doesn't bleed to death, or that their mother doesn't suffer acute neural trauma from post-operative shock, who do you think they're praying to? Now go ahead and go to your church, and with any luck, you might win the annual raffle. But if you're looking for God, he was in operating room number 2 on November 17th, and he doesn't like to be second guessed. You ask me if I have a God complex. Let me tell you something. I am God, and this sideshow's over.
And cut. Good. Yeah.
I feel like I did like stutter in the middle or like in the beginning-ish there.
Well, let's do it again then. All right. This character, he's very deliberate, very strategic. And this is a deposition. But he is always 10 steps ahead of everyone else. In 5, 4, 3, 2, action.
3, 2, 1. The question is, do I have a God complex? This makes me wonder if this lawyer has any idea as to the kind of grades one has to receive in college to be accepted at a top medical school. Or if you have the vaguest clue as to how talented someone has to be to lead a surgical team. I have an MD from Harvard. I'm board certified in cardiothoracic medicine and trauma surgery. I've been awarded citations from 7 different medical boards in New England alone, and I am never, ever sick at sea. So I ask you, when someone goes into that chapel and they fall on their knees and they pray to God that their wife doesn't miscarry, or that their daughter doesn't bleed to death, or that their mother doesn't suffer acute neural trauma from post-operative shock, what do you think they're praying to? Go ahead and read your Bible, Dennis. You go to your church, and with any luck, you might win the annual raffle. But if you're looking for God, he was in operating room number 2 on November 17th, and he doesn't like to be second guessed. You ask me if I have a God complex. Let me tell you something. I am God, and this sideshow's over.
I'm James Dakota Sedger, and I'm reading from the part of Frank in Magnolia. Respect the cock and tame the cunt, boys. And you did hear me right. Tame it. Take it on head first with your skills at work and say no. You will not control me. You will not take my soul, and you will not win this game. Because you want to know what? It is a game, guys. You want to think it's not? Go back to the schoolyard and have a crush on good old Mary Jane. Respect the cock. You are embedding this thought. I'm in charge. I'm the one who says yes, no, here, now. Shit, man. It's sad, but true. Sad, but true. And you want to know what? It must be this way. The thing about chicks and the thing about this course that we're going through today is how universal the thing is. I mean, I wish I could sit here and say that it's not. Because the reality, if each chick had something new, something really new that I'd never seen before, fucking hell, I'd be in the money, okay? Because I'd have to create 100 new cassettes, 100 new books, 100 new seminars, and 100 new videos just to deal with each and every situation a chick could create. But that's just not the case. They are universal. They are sheep. They are to be studied and watched. They have patterns that must be stopped, interrupted, and resisted. I'd be making a fucking buttload if they were actually as much of a challenge as they want you to think they are. Reality, they're all the same, each and every one of them. And once you learn these methods, you're set. You don't have to come back. That's it. In solid. Boom. Done. Over. Why? Because all women are the same, period. End of discussion. Sorry, it's true. Sad, but true. And anyone who wants to say that these methods we work by are unfair, yes, they are. Guilty as charged, okay? And so's the world. It's a harsh, hard, unfair place. And it's not going to stop me from getting my fair share of the hair pie. Period. Sorry. End of discussion.
That night, I had a dream. I dreamt I was lying in the ether, a flow of spirits visiting things to come. The shade of shadow of the people in my life rustled their way into my slumber. I dreamt that Gale and Edible had decided to return to prison. Follow this just as well. I'm yourself superior. And just welcome all you guys. Maybe they weren't ready to come out into the world. And then I dreamed on into the future. Traversed born in the Arizona home. Beneath Junior. Was in prison for a time shuffle. Preferred to remain unknown.